Hello everybody, welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. Today, what am I doing? Well, I am going to try and install a county line post hole digger. This is from Tractor Supply. I'm going to install it to my Kubota BX 2380. I am currently building a deck on the back of my house, and I bought this almost a year ago, I think, because there was a great deal at Tractor Supply. I think it was discounted down to $500. Does not include the auger. The auger is another $150 or so. Bought a 12-inch auger because I'm setting 6x6 posts in the ground. Anyway, this is all going to be about getting this thing installed and hooking it up on the tractor. In case you're thinking about buying a post hole digger, I want to let you know what this county line post hole digger does and how it works on the Kubota BX. So let's get the crate opened up and get started. I've had this in the barn since I bought it, and I don't know what it even looks like inside. So let's open it up. All right, put some gloves on. Get this out of the way. It's heavy. All right, got to cut these bands. These things always make me nervous, but that's not tight at all, so it's not going to spring on me. That didn't take much. Oh boy, what do we have here? Lots of pieces, parts. I like the way it's packaged. Like I say, this has been sitting in my barn for a year, and it looks beautiful. Well, I see the instructions right here, so I think I'm gonna get these out and read them off camera. So here's the parts you need for step one. I just laid out just the parts that I need. They suggest that you take everything out of the box so you know where everything is. I'm just gonna bring out the parts that I do for each step and put them together. I will say I am very happy they supply pins and everything you're gonna need to attach this to the tractor. These are also nicely labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know what order you need to go in. So because I have a 3-point that is narrower than 26 inches, I am mounting these with the pins on the inside. And I'm just gonna keep the bolt assembly the same. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to reverse the bolt assembly. This is what's confusing me right here. So I'm going to keep this on the outside, and I'm just going to put, you've got a thinner bolt here and a wider bolt here with a lock washer. I think I'm going to put that on the outside the way it's shows in the diagram, and just reverse the whole thing just like that. And it says not to tighten anything until later. So just gonna kind of get things in place right now. And do the same thing on the other side. So next we're just gonna connect this top link arm to this A-frame with top link pin. This should be fun. I have a feeling this is gonna be a bit difficult. So I just set that up, and I'm going to very carefully set this close to where it needs to be. Like I say, it shows going through the second hole. So we'll just get that close and balance it. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, we'll lift this up and line it up with that. There we go. That's in place. Okay, so far it should look like this. A-frame connected with a top link pin to this boom arm. This side obviously goes to the tractor. These pins down here are just loosely connected. They're not tightened yet. Next step. This is one of those things that it doesn't say in the instructions at all, but it seems pretty obvious to me that this top link has to come out. So I'll read this next part to you. With boom, this is important, says important. With boom attached to the tractor, raise boom by hand check the clearance between the boom and the top link bracket. If interference exists, change the hole location and recheck. Failure to check can result in damage to the tractor or the boom. So, not super heavy. I think I need to, I don't know. I guess just manually hook this to the top link. There we go, just get it close. Put it there. So this is where the frustration begins. There is a pin right here that goes all the way under this. And of course that prevents it from centering on this hole, so I cannot put a pin through. Okay, so what I've decided to do here, and this is the problem, you got this little pin under here. On the downward travel, it hits that. I showed you that when I was trying to hook it on. You'd simply just have to lift the boom up high enough so that it fits in there, and it will attach. But when it goes all the way down, it is still going to hit that pin. Now the other problem is this up here. So there's this annoying little piece of metal that sticks out. I don't know why it's here on the BX. It must serve some kind of a purpose. I don't know. But I don't want to modify the tractor because the tractor costs a whole lot more than the implement. So I am going to modify the implement. There's plenty of metal here to hold this. And there's really not a lot of pressure there. So I'm going to notch this out about that much to allow it to travel the full distance up. Okay, so I made my little notch, and I'm just going to, from what my friends on the BX Kubota owners group have said, that with this all the way down in the ground, with the post hole auger all the way down in the ground, it's never going to go down all the way here. So I'm not going to worry about that little pin on the bottom. The process for putting this on the tractor is going to be, for me, put the bottom 3-point in first. Which is a little bit of a struggle. There we go. Yeah, just like that. Then lift. Of course, I don't have the auger on it yet. So, or the gearbox or anything else. This might be more of a challenge than what I think. All right, so we got that on. I just want to test it right now to see what that top travel ends up doing. All right, let's see how high it'll go now. Huh, it still hits. Might need to take a hair more out. That's close, that's doing pretty well. Yeah, well, you know what? That's as high as it goes. I think that's fine. If you haven't noticed on your own already, I did decide to put these pins on the outside. It works just fine. Just spread your 3-point hitch out so it fits. All right, moved into the garage because it's getting super windy out there. That did solve the problem. It will travel all the way up, just 5 minutes of angle grinding, and it didn't weaken it enough to cause any problem. Probably voided the warranty. I'd say it voided the warranty for sure, but I'm not worried about that. All right, so I got to put this shield on here, and they don't give you a picture. They tell you what to do, but they don't give you a picture of how it goes on there. But luckily, on the front, there is a picture. And right there you can see the guard and which way it goes. So that helps. All right, looks like the bolts are already here on. This goes on here like this. Right in the holes they came out of. It says those are 5/16 inch bolts. They tell you it's a 5/16 by 18 by 1 inch long. It's not. That's not a 5/16. It looks to me like a 5/8. Yep, it's a 5/8. Liars. Torque fasteners to 19 pounds. Okay. There we go. Torque to 19 pounds. There we go. All right, we're back outside again, so I have to apologize if the wind noise gets a little too much here, but I want to show you what I'm doing. Mine came with these pins already in, so got to take them out. Well, at least I got to take one out. Yeah, just got to take one out. There we go. All right, so because I'm working by myself, I decided to put this up on a couple of sawhorses with a piece of plywood, and then I raised that and I tried to line it up as best I could. And I'm going to slowly lower it down and get it all lined up. That way I don't have to lift anything, you know, and struggle with it. You just kind of get this pretty close. Let that go back down. Right there. Perfect. Now I can put this pin back through without having to break my back. Might need a little persuasion. Just give it a tap, 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 tap-a-roo. Come on. It's almost there. There it goes. Right on. Put the pin back through. Robert, your mother's brother. That part's done. So the wind's just getting stupid out there, so I backed the tractor into the garage. It's actually a lot more comfortable to work in here. And it doesn't hit the ROPS, so I put bent the ROPS down so I could back into the garage. So now I need to attach the auger. So I guess you pull this little blue sleeve off. All right, and we're going to attach the auger. So the auger, if you see it, little holes, like right here, that's where the bolts go in for it. And they leave you, you know, you can put your wrench in through here, but you got to turn this gear enough to get to it. So it's not easy to turn, but you can do it. It takes a little strength. So turn that so that hole lines up. Now, getting this to go onto there, what would I do? I would double check that all these bolts are the right bolts. These are 1/2 inch bolts, they go all the way through. So this has to go over that, and then the bolt has to go through. Huh. Okay, I got an idea. So I'm going to lower that down. I think just about to there. Actually, that's almost to where it was before. Now, that's right about where that fits. And I'm going to angle this out so that it goes under, and then I'm going to slide it up there. All right, we're almost in line. I need to lower it a little more. Oh, so close. All right, well, I went too far, so I can just angle this out a little more until that hole lines up, and then put the bolt through. Now we put the lock washer and the nut. I'm just gonna finger tighten it for now. So now that you've got one bolt through there, I'm gonna lift it up again. This is good to know. If you're using this with a Kubota BX, there's plenty of travel here. So when you're driving around, after making that notch, it lifts it a good 6 inches off the ground, so you can drive around with it. All right, now I'm going to put that other bolt in. So I'm going to turn this until that lines up, and it's just exactly the same procedure. Next step is to tighten all hardware. So I'm going to tighten these bolts that I put into the auger, and I'm going to tighten up the lower pins, and I think that should be it. Just to be helpful, these bolts, 3/4. It says very clearly and in several places in the instructions, plus right here, that the gearbox is shipped without lubricant. Need some 80 W90 gear oil. Doesn't say how much. Conveniently, the fill cap is also 3/4 inch. This is a full quart, so I'm just going to start pouring it in. It looks like this thing could hold a full quart. Guess what? It took a full quart. Doesn't say this in the instructions, but just about every new PTO shaft I've ever seen has grease zerks on it. Scrape away the paint and go ahead and grease up your PTO shaft before you put it on the tractor. Oh boy. So before I do this next step, I connected the PTO shaft to the tractor first because I don't want to just dangling and banging on the ground. And yes, it's just as much of a pain in the butt as any other PTO to get connected, but it's on. So now this end, you pull this other thing off here. These just make me laugh. Anyway, take that off, and I want you to put a little bit of grease on there. It's probably plenty. And wipe a little extra off of there. All right, my hands are already trashed. Definitely gonna need some Gojo, so I'm just gonna use my fingers. Spread that out a little bit. All right, we're still going here? Yeah, we're still going. All right, now we're gonna get this thing up and on there. And over that shaft. Okay, there's a little set screw right here. You need to turn that out some, okay? Just enough so that this is gonna slide all the way on. That set screw is important. It goes into a little groove on the drive shaft and keeps the PTO shaft from flying off if the shear bolt fails. So anyway, you need to get that out far enough so that it slides on freely. Now, I'm going to turn this whole thing so we can find the hole for the shear bolt. There it is. There it is. There it is. Get that to line up. Right there, I think. Yeah. Okay, shear bolt goes through here. Come on, there we go. That was just a lock washer and a nut that goes on the other side. So the nut, my friends, is a 9/16. Come on, get on there. Now where's that set screw? Okay, you see the set screw still there? This little guy right here? You want to tighten that back in. There we go. All right, that's good enough. All right. We're almost there, my friends. Almost there, I swear. A couple of little things to add. Got all that tightened. This is all done. It's all greased. Looks good. Okay, what's next? Okay, so next you got this handle thing here. Comes a little rubber handle. Grip? Yeah, grip. Slide that on there. Okay. Comfortable, wonderful. Okay, and then this is supposed to go into here, and it has two positions. It can go all the way into here if you like, kind of like that. But it also can reach all the way out if that's more comfortable for you. So you can adjust, so you can swing the auger like this now. So from the tractor seat. I guess that could be helpful. I'm going to put it, I love these things. I'm going to put this one right here. So the very last thing here is take these suckers and you just put them right here in these slots to the other side. And now theoretically, when I drop this down, those legs, yeah, I guess they support it. Sure, why not? And that, my friends, is how you install a County Line PHD 100 post hole digger. Not really meant for this tractor, but for the price, I had to buy it. And if all I had to do was notch that a little bit to make it work, well, amen, hallelujah. It was not easy to install. It took several hours. Hopefully this video isn't several hours long. Next thing you're gonna see, and you gotta tune into my next video, is we're gonna put it to use. So make sure you come back and watch Sam do some more stuff as I start digging some post holes for that deck. Glad you tuned in, and we'll see you next time.